Je vous fais un petit clapi-clapou. Clapi-clapou, tu là. Clapi-clapi, tu là. The Gilded Age, l'âge doré, c'est le nom donné à cette période, fin 19e, début 20e siècle, où les États-Unis ont connu une période de croissance industrielle et économique sans précédent. The Gilded Age, c'est aussi le titre et le décor de la nouvelle série de Julian Fellowes, le créateur de Downton Abbey, qui cette fois traverse l'océan Atlantique pour exposer les rivalités new-yorkaises entre vieilles fortunes et nouveaux riches. C'est somptueux, captivant et très drôle, et on en parle tout de suite dans Story Série.
Careful, that table belonged to King Ludwig of Bavaria.
You had it once, I've got it now.
Are you all right? Have you got it?
We've got it. I've got you, you've got me. Everything's all right, I think, I hope.
Do we really have to?
I'd say there's no escape.
The Gilded Age is an exciting and dazzling period drama, and I was wondering, how much did you want to stick to the historical truth?
Historical truth in the detail is very important to me. And we're very keen on getting the details right, how they lived, what they wore, what they drove in, and all the rest of it. As for the design of the houses, in a way, I was very inspired by the house that had been built by, the heiress, Patty Duke, who was a tobacco heiress. Her father built a house on Fifth Avenue, and it is absolutely ravishing. And that was one of the main inspirations for the Russell's house.
Another inch. 2 inches, Mrs. Russell.
I want people to feel they're looking at the truth. Of course, there are some things you're never going to be truthful about, a main one being teeth, because nowadays everyone has better teeth than they would have done in the 1880s. But, there's nothing I can do about that.
The windows can be opened when you go to change. I'll ask Mrs. Bruce. The new housekeeper.
Why did you get rid of Mrs. Findlay?
She wasn't up to it. Not what I have in mind.
Did you know they shot Jesse James?
He had his troubles, I have mine.
The show mainly revolves around wealthy, very wealthy women, and they are also confined to the domestic sphere. They depend on men financially, but what I found absolutely brilliant is to show how indispensable they are to the household, to their husbands, to society.
They ran society. Society was reinvented and run by women. And they were extraordinary characters. I mean, Alva Vanderbilt, Tessie Ulrich, they were extraordinary people. And of course, in the end, they would start to branch out into causes, because in the end, running society was not enough for them. And you have Alva Vanderbilt starting by giving a great ball on Fifth Avenue in her new chateau and all the rest of it. And by the end of her life, she was working for women's rights and the women's vote and leading a march down Fifth Avenue for women's votes. So they didn't stand still, these women. They kept moving and they kept taking on new causes and everything. But it is absolutely historically accurate.
Is it that woman again?
You must be pleased they're moving in and we have peace at last.
I don't know which is worse. The noise of the builders or the chance of running into her in the street.
The energy it took to create the visual of the Gilded Age, and that's why it's called Gilded, because there was just ostensible cosmetic wealth,
You need to know we only receive the old people in this house. Not the new. Never the new.
What's the difference?
The old have been in charge since before the revolution. They ruled justly until the new people invaded.
That's how people defined their success, by how lavish their homes and how elaborate their parties were. So, yes, the women were indispensable to the creation of that world.
Mrs. Fane was telling me how curious people are about the house.
They want our money, Bertha.
It's a good cause.
I'm sure. And I'm glad if you'd like to donate. But please don't deceive yourself that their interest in us is something more.
Otherwise, the men would make the money, but it was really the women who knew how to spend it and hired the best tastemakers and architects and artists.
We are her only living relatives. We owe her the duty of care.
We do not owe her anything. Her father robbed us of all that we possessed.
We think about networking now in order to create business opportunities, but these women, they created networking.
What are these? Old invitations. I was looking through them to see if I needed to keep any of the addresses.
This one was for tonight. Mrs. George Russell at 801 Fifth Avenue.
Are you awake?
If people like Mrs. Astor did not give you her blessing and you weren't welcomed into society, so many doors would be shut for your husband, economic doors. It seems like a lot of silliness and parties and dressing up, but it had a complete economic backbone to who was in society and who wasn't.
I'll never give up. And I promise you this, I'll make them sorry one day.
I'm glad to hear it, my dear. Defeat is not your color.
Your wardrobe, the dresses are absolutely stunning. They're dazzling. But I was wondering, how uncomfortable were they?
It was shocking at first. You feel like you're wearing curtains, you know. I mean, it's just volumes and volumes. It's really very funny. Cynthia and I will tell you, when we had to use the loo, which, you know, eventually you get into this corset and the petticoat and the bustle and all the fabric, but eventually you do have to go to the loo, and the soundstage did not have a proper bathroom. We had to go to one of those Johnny on the spots across the sidewalk. So to lift fabric, I mean, you can just do the visual, trying to lift all of this up and strategically place yourself so that you didn't get any of the velvet wet. I mean, it really, there's a lot of comedy to be had with actresses dealing with these clothes.
I'm going up to change. I want to get out of this corset.
But I welcomed them because I thought they were so beautiful. They were worth all the suffering that we endured.
This isn't your concern. Please don't let me hold you up.
We have to board last.
Oh, I see.
What is unique about Peggy is her particular praxis of identity to be able to have upward mobility and to be able to sort of carve out these spaces for herself.
Just remember, we are all held fast, frozen in time until you finally allow us to move forward.
And I think what's cool about the wittiness in these characters is I think women at this time were keenly aware of the strategy that they had to use to get their voices heard, and the keen strategy to not offend too much, to not get kicked out of the room, to not do these things, but to still make sure that your point comes across. And I think that wit was like a very big tool for that, and using your intellect in that way to disarm people. And so I think that that is a very exciting thing that Peggy and Marion have in common.
Leaving already, Miss Brooke?
I'm afraid I must get back, but thank you for including me.
For including you in what?
Thank you for coming, Miss Brooke.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for us, too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Somebody Somewhere, c'est le titre d'une série inspirée de la vie de la formidable comédienne américaine Bridget Everett. Elle y joue Sam, une quadra grande gueule de retour dans son Kansas natal, mais qui peine à trouver sa place dans la communauté qui l'a vu grandir. On en parle avec l'héroïne de cette série tendre et douce amère, ainsi que ses créateurs. C'est tout de suite dans Story Série.
I don't have time to talk right now. I'll just call you back, okay?
You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just see you at Mom and Dad's. What the fuck?
Hi, Bridget.
Hi. Good morning.
How are you?
Well, maybe not where you are, but good morning.
Yeah, it's late afternoon here in Paris. Where are you?
I'm in New York. It's actually a gorgeous day, so I can feel it behind me. I got a little skylight here giving me some of the glory of the day, but, you know, we're doing all right.
My pants burned, like my whole body froze. I wish I had boobies, so he would want to touch them.
Oh, come on, one more day. Wow.
That was Michael with some more stolen moments from his sister's diary.
Somebody Somewhere is based on your story. How long have you wanted to tell it?
Well, you know, I didn't know I wanted to tell it until the showrunners came to me with the idea of, like, Sam being from Kansas, which is where I'm from. And I'd never really thought of doing a kind of origin story, but when they pitched me the show idea, like my heart was in my throat and I was like, oh my God, this is it. I can't believe I'm going home again. It's like the place I ran away from.
The challenge was sort of how much of the real Bridget, who on stage, you know, will rip off her shirt and sing these bawdy songs, but then very quickly sing a Christmas song and you're bawling. So we wanted to find the really close version to what makes that like a 1 in a million kind of performance in this character who's set in Kansas. So how do you do that in a smaller town? How do you get to do the thing you love, which might be going against stream, you know?
Ed, I'm going to the grocery store.
MJ!
Shh, damn it.
Come on, MJ, let me drive!
Oh, stop!
Do you provide them material, or maybe they talk to your friends, your parents, or?
Yeah, they came over here and they just, you know, they've seen me perform live, and a lot of the stuff in my live show is, you know, expositional history of myself. But they came over and they just sort of interviewed me, and then I was in the writer's room with them, so I often offered up like, well, here's something that happened to me, and we put it in the show. So.
Did you know that Kaylee Norman wrote a book?
Yeah, everyone's freaking out because it's about high school, like our years.
Oh shit. So, do we all get nailed, or?
I just hope my DUI isn't in it. Tammy doesn't know.
You know, we can make it authentically Midwest to our experiences, but when it came down to the Kansas and what she wanted to share from her life and funny stories of other people, and it was a very collaborative experience.
What a shitty year, huh?
Yeah. Love you too, Dad.
I was pulling down so hard in the boat trying to keep it still.
Yeah, because better than her showing us her photo albums and scrapbooks is having her mom show us her photo albums and scrapbooks. So we got the whole her mom Freddie, who is a real character, and I think where Bridget gets a lot of her her energy and spark, sitting down in Kansas and going through the high school clippings of swim team and singing and everything was
and
incredible.
Her show choir, and just to see the braces in it all.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that we went to high school together.
We were in show choir together.
No, I knew I recognized you.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
It's all good. A lot of people don't remember me.
Sam in the show, she struggles finding her place, and watching it, I thought, home is really where the trauma is. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, and I think that like Sam is a perfect example of that, because she ran away from her family.
And just who are you exactly to give advice to anyone about literally anything?
What?
I mean, what are you doing with your goddamn life?
Jesus Christ.
For me, it's like when I'm with my family now, I'm the exact same, like we all revert to our roles, you know, like I'm the youngest sister again, I'm the pain in the ass. Like we don't really know each other as adults, we just sort of come back as the same person. So I think like when Sam goes back home, she's trying to embrace who she is, but it's hard because you just sort of snap back into these roles, you know, and you snap back into the resentments.
I changed my face, I changed my name, but no one wants you when you lose. Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. Don't give up.
You're also a cabaret performer and you're a singer, and you're not shy about showing your body. So I have a trick question. What's the more difficult? Is it tell the truth naked or tell the naked truth?
I think to tell the naked truth, because when I grew up, I used to go to like the grocery store with my mom, and she would wear like a nightgown and like a coat, but like she wouldn't be wearing a bra. Like she just sort of, it just wasn't like a thing, you know, just like, it's, you know, they're just tits. For me, when I do my live shows, it's a way to honor her and also to embrace the thing that makes me different. It's like my big body, my boobs are a little pendulous, you know, like, but to me, it's just, who we are is what makes us special, and I want to showcase that for Sam and for me.
We're gonna be okay. Okay, wanna do some Zumba? No. Yeah, fair.
I mean, if that's what it takes to get you back, I'll try it.
Oh my God, you do owe me.
Oh, fuck, I didn't mean it.
Okay, you're gonna be good at something, and it's gonna be Zumba. Fuck you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
À la semaine prochaine pour encore plus de...